So this is not the same game that we normally play. We are playing Fiasco as a sort of pick-me-up game because not everyone is going to be available for uh, our normal scheduled time. And as such, I decided that we would play a little jump-in, pick-me-up game so that we didn't have to skip a session. And instead, we're doing 2 weeks back-to-back. Yay!
Yay! Piss!
This particular game is Fiasco. It is a DM-less game, which allows us to basically throw darts at a dartboard and figure out a story. Which we've effectively done already before I started this recording to make it a little easier. And with that, I'm going to go around the table and describe a basic premise of our connections with each other and whatnot. And I suppose we could go clockwise. So I'd talk about my connection to Zoe. You talk to your relationship about Toby. Toby says his to Karl, and then Karl says his to mine, sort of thing. And in that sense, I am playing Mason. Mason is the DM in this game. He is the nerd in the equation of nerd versus metalhead.
And yeah, we're doing the Dysfunctions and Dragons module, yes. In case anyone was wondering.
Yes,
we're playing characters who are playing Dungeons and Dragons within the game world. It's meta as fuck, and I love it.
Yes, and Mason plays as the DM for this game, for the game that we're playing in the game, and no one likes Mason except Toby,
except me.
Due to various reasons, I have the best friends until one went from nerd to metalhead and now bitter enemies with Zoe, that is Sam, and we have a dangerous object that we haven't quite figured out what exactly that is yet.
I'm stuck between like a book.
How is the book dangerous?
Or a kind of a jinx dice.
It's dangerous because it's dangerous because Zoe keeps writing jokingly, not seriously, the names of people she wants to shank, and then the FBI finds it and she gets arrested.
I think I'm gonna go with
a personal hit list. That's pretty dangerous.
Oh,
your last two images are backwards, sir. Okay, so Sam has now just given us the dangerous object that is a copy of Deities and Demigods with the Cthulhu and whatever the heck that is at the end.
I'm working on like the needs that we might have. So.
Well, we don't have one. We can figure that out as we go. But yes.
Okay.
And so now we will switch over to Sam so that she can give us an idea of what Zoe is like. Hello, Zoe.
Hey, what's up?
Oh God, you're in character already.
Rock on.
Oh boy.
Yet.
So okay. I am a metalhead who decided she's done playing a nerd since she found her love of metal. So, yeah, and she wants kind of out of this campaign because it's been going for so long. And so she roped in Toby, this impressionable kid.
Yeah, the youngest player in the party, and is trying to like manipulate him to do her bidding to end things.
Yes. And I just want to end this campaign. I just want to be gone. Oh, he has a small cat that I find adorable.
That is not dangerous at all.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Totally. It's a completely and utterly safe emotional support animal. And nothing else.
Uh-huh.
They can all smell our flaming pants now, I can tell. Lyra is having a heyday.
All right. So now we move on to Toby, apparently.
Yep. So I am playing Toby, an adorably impressionable 14-year-old kid who likes Smash Bros. And plays a human fighter named Bruce.
Huh.
Indeed. And he apparently knows another member of the party. He knows Zoe, and that I assume they've been friends since they've been playing this campaign for a while.
Probably.
Together. But is also, not super like not like intently like I know one of the other players quite well, or at least know them. That'd be Karl, the Kenneth's character, who is a game store employee, but Toby likes to just hang out there all the time to just browse the shelves, and also because he wants Smash Bros, damn it. And I'm assuming that like within our characters, Toby is having to like have Bruce get whoever Karl's character is to like help save the world by defeating the great evil to gain power.
Yes.
Save the world, get power. Question marks? Profit. That is the process here.
Yep. Sounds about right. And then that leaves Karl.
So Mason's running this game.
Oh no.
And
oh God, no. God, no. Do not do that ever again. As a voice actor,
my glasses up the bridge of my nose.
Right now.
The problem with the way I speak, sir.
Oh God, as a voice actor, that is painful.
Can I just take this book that I have and just smack him across the table? It's just like, enough.
Maya, get him.
Well, I was totally going for the. I was totally going for the middle-aged game shop owner stereotype. Mason killed off my character again about an hour ago, and that's the last straw. So I'm totally going to use this innocent young kid as a Toby Dukin, and I'm going to blast the DM with it and destroy the great evil threatening the world. And with his help, I shall get even with Mason for destroying my character again.
Right. Sounds about right.
So.
All right. So, with that in mind, the way that this game works, of course, is we go around the table around the and we do various scenes. Each player can describe the scene and set up what it looks like and set up the events, and based on how well the scene goes, that particular player is awarded a black or white dice. In Act 1, we give our dice to someone else. And then once Act 1 is finished, we use the dice totals to figure out tilts, and then whoever wins, or once the tilts are finished and Act 2 starts, we will be giving dice out and keeping them. And we shall see where the story goes from there. Tilts are fun. Tilts make everything go crazy. Especially in a game like this that seems like it's already crazy. So, yeah. I'm torn.
Barbarian Ranger Sorcerer?
What? Where did you find Strike Through?
It's in format and text.
Oh, I get it. Because his characters died twice?
And I can't spell.
There we go.
Okay.
So with this in mind, I'm torn. Do we play in like Mason's basement since he's the typical D&D kid and he's the DM, or do we play in like the back room of Karl's game store since he owns it?
I'm fine with either, frankly.
Well, I can never get Toby to leave, so
sure, let's go into the game shop.
Practically live here anyway.
Sure, that'd be hilarious if we wind up getting out of control rampage as our tilt.
I know, right?
Maya just shredding up the games, store all the video games and books and whatnot. Just
all right.
Well, there goes another $50.
So I feel it's safe to say that probably the first series of rounds will probably take place like as the party's like taking a break mid-session so that Karl can make his character.
Well, I was actually thinking of starting the scene at that moment when Karl died again.
Right, but I mean, like, it leads into a break so that we actually have chances for these characters, our characters, to interact outside of the game they're
Yeah,
playing.
yeah, of course, yeah.
And
So,
my character now has a
Wait, can
We're
I
playing
ask
a
a question? What?
name.
Steve. Just a bunch of Steves.
I played a barbarian named Steve, and then a ranger named Steve, and now I'm playing a sorcerer named Steve.
Oh, right. I should probably make like.
yes, you should. So, I was actually thinking of starting this scene at that moment when Steve died again. Oh well, I guess again. So
The question then becomes, what killed him?
we start out this scene with it's in the back of this game store. What's Karl's game store's name?
Karl's Rulebook Emporium?
I don't write them, I just sell them, okay? Let's see. What's a good B word? Blunders and bargains? Can I spell?
Blunders and bargains.
Sure.
Blunders and bargains.
All right.
Or bargains and blunders.
Bargains and blunders sounds better.
Yeah.
It rolls off the tongue a little easier.
Bargains and blunders. That's hilarious.
All right. So
We're playing Dysfunctions and Dragons at Bargains and Blunders.
and you know, like off to the side in like the one back room, there's a couple of itty bitty young kids playing ogres and oubliettes. So we're good.
There's like one really tall guy among them who only speaks in yeps and nopes.
Yes.
Yep.
Like just various shades of yep and nope.
Nope.
All right.
Yep.
So then,
Nope.
this
Yeah,
particular
what?
story starts in the back of the Bargains and Blunders shop owned by Karl, and Karl has just rolled a nat 1 to escape the grasp of Minotaur? Sure. Well, no. He has just rolled a nat 1 to escape the grasp of a gelatinous cube. And
Oh, slow death.
yes. And
It's like half of them sticking out, and he's in there just like in pain.
And it's like kicking it's like watching Cell absorb someone all over again.
And since this particular character was the ranger in the equation, we see the like leather and his armaments and everything is just like melted away, and then we cut to the actual players playing, and Mason is like this extremely dorky looking kid with like the Steve Urkel sort of strap things and glasses that broken in the middle, and yeah, he very much fits the stereotype, and he's basically looking to Karl and Karl, you died again.
Does that mean I have to make another character?
Yes. So the gelatinous cube. Karl Mason sort of looks to the rest of the party members and players, and he's just. So you guys were able to get away from the gelatinous cube, and Steve was just like caught in the grasp, and none of you even realized that Steve has been killed. He's just been captured or something. And yeah, let's take a break for a second so that Karl and me can figure out what he wants to do for his next character.
Steve reincarnates and lives on with.
He reincarnates again? Come on, you gotta come up with a much more clever name than Steve.
Why? Because that would foil your plans? Never! Steve it is.
No, because having the same name over and over is boring. It's like you're playing the same guy with a different skin.
Hey, it's not my fault I have to keep re-rolling him. He's very versatile.
It's not my fault you
Toby's
keep
just
getting bad rolls.
Toby's just anxiously petting Maya.
And see,
I
now
don't see
you're-
what the problem is.
Nice.
Toby has a human named Bruce. Why can't he have a guy named Steve all the time?
Well, Bruce is a really tough, cool fighter. He hasn't died. Twice.
Well, I blame these horrible dice. I'm going to sell them in my shop next. Make a bunch of money. Stupid kids.
Hey.
Sell them as loaded dice. Okay, sure.
Yeah, they're loaded to always roll one.
Okay.
Can I have Toby like reach across and pick up one of the dice and just roll it just for the hell of it?
Yes.
One of Karl's. Net 20.
Okay, Karl will
Karl
figure it
just
out. I'll talk to
Toby
you guys.
just slowly backs away.
No, it's okay, Toby. I'll have you. I'll have you set up a stand and you can demo them so the kids buy more of them. Sounds great.
Okay.
And don't worry, I'll put an extra Mountain Dew in the fridge for you.
Deal. When we doing this? I want to do this.
Look, now you're just
If
using
this
it.
game ever ends.
Mason just sort of lets you two have at it and just storms off so he can figure out why his player characters keep dying, or at least why Karl's always do.
Maybe he just stats himself really shitty. I don't know.
Oh, when I choose a new class, I have to change my stats.
Okay, that works.
Now I'm going to be a sorcerer with like an 18 strength.
Can win an arm wrestle, can't shoot a cantrip for shit.
Look, no one told me I wasn't supposed to use pen, all right?
Dude, just go get yourself another piece of paper. It's not that hard.
Is that why there's this massive, long list of numbers with crosses through them all along the side of your sheet? Is that your money?
I was always taught in school to always show your work.
I mean, yeah, but okay, all right. Maya, protect me.
Something tells me this whole, and I think we'll end the first scene there because that seems reasonable.
Okay.
Okay.
And I think that this scene is going to go horribly for Mason.
Oh yeah. Is it that we all give you one die each?
No, you.
I can't remember how that works again.
I thought it was supposed to be at the start where it's just a scene between two people
Yes, it is.
until
but
later on.
the nature of this particular game would add to the fact that various players could be in the same room or not, and things of that nature. Usually, the people who are not part of that scene are the ones that choose whether or not it's a black dice, black or white dice. But at the same time, there's also the reasonable idea of the dice could be chosen by the person who leads the scene, and other people could be in it, or however we want to set up for that. The nature of that particular first opening scene led to everyone being in the room at the moment. But at this point, Mason sort of walked off, and Karl's probably going to go and make him a character, so theoretically the next scene could be between Zoe and Toby. But I was just thinking that it makes sense since y'all took control of that scene and Mason is not in a good spot mentally at the moment. Mason gets a black dice, which I then give to somebody else. We give off one. We give off one die each at the end of every scene. And usually it's picked. Usually it's picked by those who weren't a part of the scene.
Well, I mean, since it was primarily like the focus was Mason and Karl, maybe just me and Knives dish out.
You don't.
Like,
You would pick,
like just because the other characters are present doesn't mean they're the active ones.
this is true.
Was Act 1 the other people vote and Act 2 you vote, or was it the flip of that? I seem to remember that Act 1, Act 2 flip-flopped who gave out the dice.
Act 1, regardless of which act it is, the people who are not a part of the scene pick the dice. But in Act 1, once you have a dice picked for you, you give it to somebody else. And in Act 2, you don't.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
In theory, though, if Sam and Ryan assume that Mason can get a white dice here, then I'll take a white dice. That's fine.
No, I think you just have two black.
No, it's still only one dice.
We vote, or y'all vote and decide if you want him to have white or black, and then he gets that one.
Okay, a black die then.
Do you agree, Sam?
Okay.
Hmm?
Would you agree that Mason got a black dice there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I get to give the dice to someone else. I'm going to give it to Karl.
And so the getting even begins.
All right, and now it is Zoe's scene. Karl has left, or Mason has left the room. You can choose what Zoe does with that time and how she tries to speak to poor innocent little Toby. Or you can do something else entirely. It's up to you.
You pick one of us, and we're your primary person.
Yep.
Yes, I'm trying to think.
Or you could pick a completely different character if you want there to be a different character, and then you pick one of us to act as them.
No, that's okay. You know what? Yeah, I want to go talk to Karl.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Toby's just in the background, like petting Maya.
Yeah, petting Maya, checking over my character sheet, making sure all my armor and gear and shit is as it should be, seeing how much XP I need to level up again.
Woohoo, level 17.
I have a pristine character sheet that's blank, but I'm still trying to make my final copy and pin on the old one, and then I'll transfer whatever the final numbers are across.
Oh, okay. Aren't you tired of just dying in the same campaign over and over again?
Yes, but it's this die. It doesn't like me.
Are you sure it's the die?
The nat 1 doesn't lie.
I mean, even though the DC could have been way too high than necessary.
So what are you getting at?
I was just saying, since Mason's away, how about we sit here together and try to find a resolution to finish this campaign?
Okay. So you think instead of always focusing on myself, I buffs? Is that what I'm hearing you say? Feather falling and shield and stuff like that.
I mean, there is that deity book over there. I think we might be able to summon something if I take a quick look.
Sorcerers can summon, huh?
I'm a warlock.
I've not. Gotcha.
I don't know if warlocks can summon, but hey, let's go with it.
Yeah, sure.
Well, if you write it in your spells list, then Mason will never know.
Toby.
Ah,
You know,
no, it's okay. No, hang, okay. Bye, Maya.
And Maya like jumps out of his lap and goes wandering off to a corner of the room to just sit and sulk.
Yeah, Zoe, what is it?
have I ever told you what my character's patron is?
Was it Ilsebard?
No. It's Tasha.
Oh, okay, that was it.
Yeah.
Who's that?
It's this cat-like deity. Really good. It's almost like Maya.
Ooh. Tell me more. I'm interested.
You know, if we sit here and look, I think we can find a way to summon her to, defeat the bad guys. You want that, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, they burned down our last castle and keep harrowing us. So we kind of want to take the bad guys out, don't we? I mean, they're holding the kingdom prisoner pretty much.
They've done that like what, 3 times now?
However many times Karl has died, it always seems to coincide.
Right.
Thanks.
So, I'm sorry, I don't mean anything by it. I'm just saying it how it is.
Like holding up hands defensively.
I just roll my eyes and sigh and get back to filling out my character sheet.
Yeah, so shall we agree on trying to summon a deity then?
Sure. What do I need to do?
I'm assuming Zoe's gonna like take a quick flip through the book and see if she can find something about summoning a deity.
Yeah, probably. I mean, this is
you need to
probably
go around and gather like things. Ignore the black heart.
Black heart, huh? Okay. So
My question is, are you trying to summon it in real life, or are you trying to summon it in the game?
In the game to end it, because hey, look.
Yeah.
So just to make sure I'm clear on this,
Okay.
we're wanting to summon this oddly bloody cat lady to kill all the bad guys for us?
No, that's war paint.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Makes sense.
It's a cat deity that's like your cat.
I mean, Maya doesn't like paint. She doesn't even like water.
No. Look, if we can get this deity into the overflow campaign world, we can probably get her to help us defeat the evil. I think that's all that matters, right?
All right. Refresh my memory how we do it.
She just like,
I'm sorry, I zoned out for a second. Maya was purring really loudly, and I like it.
but Maya's over there. Did she come back?
No, she's just really loud.
And that's not made up either. Real life Maya purrs really fucking loud. It is impressive how loud that cat purrs.
Right. Okay, I was wondering what that weird sound was. Probably use it in my next song. Anyway, no. But yeah.
And I think, unless you want some more to it, I think the idea of
No, that's pretty much it.
yeah, I think the idea of him asking, "How do we do it again?" and you just like turn the pages of the book to him is like this way.
Yeah.
All right.
Ignore the blood. Ignore like the blood of the virgin. All this shit.
All right, so, well, Mason was the only one that wasn't really in that scene, unless we want to count Karl, since, well,
He was like tertiary there on the edge. So
Yeah.
So I think she got her plan into action. She got Zoe and Karl, or Zoe got Karl and Toby in on the whole thing. So white die, most likely.
yeah, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay!
Give that girder a white die.
Who are you going to give your white dice to?
Let's give it a Toby.
Ooh, yay. Yes, the kid needs to do well. Treat the kid
Yeah.
with... He is too pure and precious for this world. Protect him at all costs.
Yeah, this is the vital plan.
All right, so
All
I'm
right.
up to 1 white die. Nice.
And it is to Toby. For your scene.
Yep.
Whatever your scene is.
Yep. Okay. What I'm thinking. Got like an idea, but I'm not sure how to approach it. What I'm thinking is I'm going to have Toby go to Karl after Zoe's done explaining everything we need to do in universe to summon Istasha.
Yes, the mistress of darkness. No.
And see if I can coerce Karl's new Steve into doing that, into part of it, into like one set of those things. So, all right. So a little bit later, Toby's going to come on over to Karl.
Hey, you feeling all right there, Karl? Feeling better?
Yeah, I feel pretty good about this. This Steve's totally going to make the other Steves look pathetic. Yeah.
Sorcerer, huh? So this new Steve will know like magic and stuff, right?
Yes.
Ooh, that could actually be really helpful. See, Zoe has this idea on how we can finally take out all the bad guys, but my character uses swords and flails and not spells and magic. And part of it is probably going to require more magic. So if you're going sorcerer, that's actually really useful.
Perhaps. I could get stuff that would assist with her endeavor.
Yeah, like spell components and like specific ingredients, like chalk or whatever for drawing the magic circle and something like that. Yeah. And then we can take out the bad guys and be heroes of the world.
I sort of squint my eyes and look over to where Mason is. Yes, I'd like that.
Right, so you'll I lost my train of thought there for a second.
I'll get material components and support spells.
Nice. Cool. All right. I'll go let Zoe know. She went outside for some fresh air or something.
And Toby goes scuttling off. And I think and I think that's that scene done.
Yep.
Short to the point.
Well, that seemed like a good, effective white scene. I think things worked out there for Toby.
Yee. So
Unless
now I have to
Sam
give
thinks
that
of-
white dye away.
Unless Sam thinks otherwise.
No.
All right. I would like to give that white dye to Karl.
You know we're supposed to sit there and announce if we're doing a establish or resolve.
What?
I mean, that was something that they did. I don't think that that's a specific part of the rules, but
Yeah, I'm on Wikipedia.
What?
well, it's rules are
Supposed to be
Guidelines anyway.
fluid.
so.
Yes.
We are now in Karl's scene.
So Mason had taken a leave to allow me to do my character and has not officially come back yet, right?
Right.
Zoe went out to catch air, and Toby went out to coordinate with her. So I would say that probably this would be about the time that Mason would be returning back and wondering where everyone is. And I have probably a fully fleshed out sorcerer by now with full spell list on like 17 pages of paper. And and a list of components that's probably a sheet front and back, a couple of columns.
You sure you're not a wizard? You got a spell book there.
He's a edition 1 or 2 sorcerer or wizard. They're basically the same thing.
All right.
So
Wait,
I guess
we're
the
Sticks to
I guess
snakes.
I guess the scene would commence with Mason returning in.
Yeah, sure.
Karl would address him. So, Mason, glad you came back. My character's basically done. I just need you to give me and I hand them the list of all the material components and adventuring supplies that I want.
Wait, what? Mason was looking. Actually, he seemed to be texting somebody else, and he sits it down for a second, and he's looking over the sheet, and he's huh? Okay, what are you doing?
They didn't have texting in the 80s. They had the big phones.
The equivalent thereof, if there is such a thing.
Okay.
It's called a phone
Right.
call.
writing little blurbs on post-it notes and attaching them to the carrier pigeon.
Okay.
Anyway, so he wasn't quite paying attention to what you said initially, and then he's like, wait, what are you doing? Okay, so this is going to take absolutely forever to get. This, and this. The town to the south has, and this. What are you getting all this stuff for? And why is this new person going to be getting things when he doesn't even know Bruce or Zoe?
Because this Steve is a well-seasoned veteran, unlike the previous Steves. He comes fully equipped with all the material components he's going to require to achieve his goals.
Okay, and where did he get them from?
Yes.
Well, if you want, I can give you an epic backstory to go with it.
Sure, do that, but not right now because we got to get back into the game anyway. Where did everybody go?
They went to get some air. I don't know why. My shop smells fine. Take a big breath and
Your
Maybe these
marinara
are
sauce
both
never cling to your pizza.
Mason's just. I guess we gotta wait for them to get back in then. Wait, why do you need all of the... This is a lot of spell components just for a level, what, 17 sorcerer?
I've got a lot of spells. I trained in the jungles of Zenwawa, and they gave me all of these extra spell slots. That's what pages 7 through 9 are. And they need components too, man.
Remind me to rename that town later. Or that forest.
The jungle.
Yes, that. Okay. Fine. And Mason then makes a couple notes on his papers in like his notebook and things to keep track of where this is going. And your new character's name is Steve again, of course.
Steve, yes.
Steve.
Okay. Well, this is actually good. The others aren't back in here yet, so I was figuring that we get... They just left from the sewers where the gelatinous cube was, where our other Steve died. So they're going to be coming back up into the city. So this new Steve, they can meet in the tavern once they get back inside. Sound good?
Sounds good to me. Yep.
That way we could keep the story flowing and then everything goes fine and maybe eventually everybody will get to the end that I want. He says that under his breath. And insane.
Alright.
Will it go good for Steve? I mean Karl.
I mean, Kenneth. I mean...
Dicks. I don't know. Knives. input.
So I did actually get the whole big list of components I needed.
Mason is currently going through them and hasn't said one way or the other currently.
Sam, where are you at? Oh, there you are.
Like kind of in between because didn't really get all the components agreed and stuff. But
Mason seems agreeable.
okay.
Mostly. I mean, if it's up to that, he didn't say you didn't get the things that you wanted, either. He just didn't say that you did.
He said we had to wait on the others.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm fine with either or, so.
I kind of want to say black because asking high favors of the dungeon master always strikes me as a pristine time for repercussions. So,
For which one of us?
It would be for you, because that was your scene.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, repercussions for which one of us?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Who do we want to give the black dice to?
Well,
Of course you do.
Okay.
mhm.
Well, I didn't have any
Yeah.
dice, so it's fine. Okay, so this is scene 2.
Mm-hmm.
Still act 1. And where did Zoe went outside to get some air. Do we want this scene to be when she comes?
or perhaps secretly plot and plan and scheme. But yes,
I sort of am debating whether or not this is a scene between Mason and Zoe with him coming out to where she is outside, or this is after that everybody's come back in and he's set. Either Mason's talking to Zoe, or Mason is setting up for the reintroduction of Steve.
Steve.
I'm just sort of
What's
debating
your
which
scene?
one. Let's go with Zoe. So
And is it Zoe or Zoe?
Zoe, is it Zoe or
Zoe.
Zoe? Zoe.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just Toby calls her Zoe. Kid.
Okay.
and there's an E there.
Well, Zoe would be with a Y, theoretically, but
No, that'd be Zoe.
I've also seen.
Whatever. She likes to just go by Zoe.
I mean that is Zoe.
Okay, I know. I was fucking with you.
Yes.
I've also seen people with ZOE as Zoe.
Yeah.
Either
I
way,
don't understand that's how it's pronounced. If she just likes going by Zoe, that's fine too. Like a nickname, that's good.
So also it's worth noting that the character, the player and the character have the same name.
Keeps it simple.
Which is perfectly fine.
Yes. I made that a point.
Yes. So Mason comes out to meet with Zoe rather, outside behind the back of the shop.
She puts out a cigarette when if Toby comes out quickly. It's just like, oh shit.
Horrible influence.
But she is a delinquent.
Yes.
yeah.
That's why she went outside.
And plus this is the 80s, so cigarettes aren't bad yet. Or as bad yet.
And gasoline isn't flammable yet.
I mean, by the nature of the overall general public, not in the nature of science. Obviously, in science, they're still bad, but whatever. Anyway, so Mason comes out, and Zoe's putting out a cigarette. Is she putting out a cigarette when I guess you said that she was whenever expecting perhaps Toby coming out.
If like Toby like comes bursting out and she's like, ah, shit, she quickly throws it to the ground and stomps on it.
Yeah, she's expecting it might be Toby, but it's not. It's Mason because Toby's still inside.
Well,
He came out to report Karl's compliance, and then probably went into ogle the new Smash Bros for a little bit, or whatever it is on the screen.
oh, then she's relighting another cigarette.
Okay.
Like, okay.
Why
You
do
pick up the butt off the ground and use it to light the next one.
No, because it's bashed.
Oh.
Mason comes in. Why do you smoke those things? You didn't used to do that.
Well, of course I didn't used to do that, but now I do.
Mm.
I mean, are they good or what? I guess. Whatever. Anyway, you need to finish up with that so that we can get back inside and get the rest of the scene out. It's getting pretty late, and I want to make sure that everybody gets home at a decent manner. I think Toby's got school tomorrow or something. But
This is why we should have played the game on the weekends, but no.
sorry, I can't play the game on the weekends because of all this other crap I gotta deal with. Whatever. Anyway,
If you have like so many stuff to take care of, why are we still doing a game?
because I want to finish the story.
This story's been going on and on. We've had like what, 3 plot resets, kind of same ideas.
That's not entirely my fault. You guys keep figuring things out too quick.
Because we figured you out.
Come back inside.
Fine, let me just give me a minute to be cool.
Uh-huh. Okay. Gotta make your dramatic entrance and whatever. Who are you even trying to be cool for? The only people that are here are me, Karl, and Toby.
Look, do you have a problem with who I am now?
Mason says nothing and walks on inside.
That's what I thought. She'll finish up and then go inside and sit down at the table and pretty much goes and like leans back and puts her feet up on the table. With the heavy boots.
So is that scene?
Yeah, that's probably same.
Yeah.
Alright.
You ain't the boss of me, old man. Black.
Yep, Mason totally gets a black for that.
Yeah. I have no clue where that was going, but okay.
I'm just watching people light on fire while I'm listening to this.
I'm
Your eyes are enormous, and you're petting Maya.
No. I mean, like in real life, not in the game. I'm watching people getting caught on fire in really dumb ways.
Oh.
Oh God! Someone just tried to. Okay, that was dumb. That was a really dumb mistake. Sorry.
Specifically only because Zoe does not have any dice. Zoe gets a white dice. Or a black dice.
Okay.
Okay.
And being
It
a
is now
delinquent is to
Zoe's
be
scene.
expected.
It is now Zoe's scene.
Right. So
Pick a person.
And if you want to, you can also say that this happens after the game session is finally over and new Steve has been introduced, and we reveal that he has all of his parts and whatever, and perhaps maybe you tried to. Actually, we could jump to right where you try to summon the Whoosy what.
That strikes me as it would probably be better to do with like towards the end of Act 1.
Yeah, it
So that
kind
the aftermath could be like with the tilt.
Yeah, okay.
Well, isn't this going to be her final turn this act?
Yeah,
it is because dark
Yeah.
stuff. So
The story moves fast.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just trying to think. I'm horrible at thinking.
I mean, you said it, not me.
I know.
I was just trying to. That particular scene was me just trying to play up the nerd to metalhead bitter enemies thing.
It would have been cool if she had a Walkman and just was blaring music.
You shouldn't have killed my mom and broken my Walkman.
Wow. Okay. Sure. Let's do a scene. Attempt to do a scene with Karl again and try to get all the components.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess this is what going to be in character.
Yes, yes. This isn't.
As
If you
opposed
want
to
to go
in
that.
character, out of character, or out of character, in character. It's in character, in character.
Yes.
This
that.
module is so fucking meta, it's confusing.
That's what makes it fun.
Yeah. So like, what is the scene that our character is in?
Paint the scene, Dungeon Master.
You're the. Oh well, I guess yeah.
I mean,
I was about to
technically-
say that's your job to come up with the scene, but it's
Yeah,
also
how does
I'm
Zoe-
not-
How does Zoe and Toby meet
New Steve.
new Steve
Mason
Well,
needs to set
you're-
that
or
up.
Bruce?
Technically, you're setting up the scene. So would she say? I guess she could say stuff that happens before her scene is the way that it happened, and then invite Mason in to change stuff after if needed.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, ultimately, I had depicted earlier that you guys were going to meet new Steve in a tavern.
Okay, so we're tavern to be like, oh, hey, look, you look familiar. Does your name happen to be Steve?
Actually, I am not looking the same. I am Steve, the sorcerer. I make my fingertips glow because it's cool.
Right.
That is super impressive.
That's Toby trying to do a voice.
Yes, very impressed. Are you bored of hanging around in this tavern? Are you looking for an adventure?
You bet. I'm still striking a pose and my fingertips are still sparkling.
Zoe, out of character, just slowly pinches her bridge. Right, how about you like to join us?
Sure.
Good, what do you have on you?
I'm assuming Mason approved my shopping list.
Most of that, yes, but not those last three things. We're gonna have to go on an adventure to get those.
Yes, I have like one of everything and 3 of those and 15 of these, and I don't have rations, so you'll be paying for my food. I didn't exactly have gold left when I was done.
Why are you in a tavern then? Anyway.
Waiting on someone to come along and pity the fool and buy me food. Did I mention my fingers sparkle?
Sure, we can do that, but it has to be in trade. One rat component. How about that?
Well, I'm not a fan of metagaming, but out of character, can I see your book thing over there? I'll trade you components in-game for your book out of game.
No.
What?
Oh,
I don't think that's how that works. Wait,
Yeah.
you're looking in this book? Huh?
No, we weren't.
Wait a minute.
you drive a hard bargain, but I
Yes.
don't want to stay here, so I guess I'll join.
Yeah, all you have to do is give me a component that I might find interesting, and you get a ration for the day. How about that? Okay, that's what I was trying to get at.
Sure.
Okay. How fun adventures we go. Be it.
Cue the end of the
We haven't-
scene. Cue the end of the scene is Mason looking through his copy of Cthulhu and comparing it to the notes on the pages of the stuff that Karl wanted.
Zoe's giving Karl like this like stink eye, like, come on, man.
You fucked that up.
All right.
Oh,
So what do you think, Brian? Does Zoe get a black die or does Zoe get a white die?
Considering Karl's small little Freudian slip there and revealing the book as the centerpiece thingy, I think black die in this scenario because while that wasn't her fault, it's still not going to go well for her. So yeah, I give Zoe a black die.
Right. Now you give that to someone else.
yeah, it's going to Karl.
Yep.
It figures.
Wait, can we hold on to dice?
That is going to
Or
happen
do we
in
have
Act
to
2.
give them away?
In Act 2 is when you hold
Okay.
on
Yeah.
to them. All right.
Right.
So
Okay.
now we go to Toby's scene.
Okay. I have no idea what to do with this scene.
Right.
Well, it can be in character, it can be out of character, in character, out of character, out of character, in character. It can be in Zenwawa jungle. It can be in some tavern. It can be somewhere new.
I suppose the first question is, do we want? I suppose the first question is, do you want it? Would you want it to be in character?
Well, Zoe and Toby haven't really had a scene together.
Not
I
like
mean
in
Zoe
full.
and Bruce.
Yeah.
I mean, then, fair enough. So this be like Zoe and Toby's characters interacting.
Yeah, and probably figure something out, like slightly whispering to each other while Karl and Mason are like talking about shit and arguing.
Okay. So we've encountered like NPCs as we're traveling to our next destination, and new Steve, like Steve 3.0, let's say, is Steve 0.0. Today's 0.0 is trying to negotiate something for us, and we can say that Zoe and Toby capitalize on the distraction to whisper amongst themselves. So we can say that Zoe initiates the conversation in this scenario, right?
Yep.
All right. Okay. So even though this is my scene, Zoe, take it away. Get us started. Kick us off.
Is Maya with Toby?
We'll say that Maya's kind of like curled up on the backrest of his chair and kind of watching everyone with this sort of drowsy, yeah, get on with it look on her face.
She's gonna lean over and be like, "Hey, can I pet your cat?"
Yeah, just don't scratch at the base of her tail or touch her belly. She will rip your hand off.
Right.
Like focus on her focus on her cheekbones and right behind her ears, just the tips of your fingers.
Yes. Zoe's sitting there like petting the cat and suddenly like, "So why'd you bring a cat here?"
I get anxious easily. Don't know if you knew. Maya helps me with that. You know, her purring's really nice. It's very therapeutic.
Yes.
Yeah. My kitty.
And Toby like starts petting Maya too.
So
And Maya's just getting like this orgasmically pleased look at her face, just like, oh yeah, 2 hands. That's great. Nice. Yeah. Keep going. Like tilting her head up, closing her eyes, purring's getting louder.
Right. So as the purring gets louder, covering our conversation, be like, okay, so when I sit here and start the ritual, I need you with all your human might of your character to protect my character at all costs, okay?
I have strength of 19, so yeah, I can do that.
Wow, that is so strong.
I'm not 7.
Right.
I'm not a
Sorry.
tiny kid. I'm in high school.
Right.
Let's see here. Strength of 19, con of 15, dex of 14. My lowest stat's my charisma. Bad about.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can guard you.
Fine. You
I
don't
can
really
guard you.
need the.
Yeah, I can guard you
That's-
totes.
Okay, good. I'm sure the sorcerer man over there is going to help too. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've got his allegiance.
Mm-hmm.
He will save the world.
I'm just trying to think. How do we discover that this cat attacks?
Someone gets pissed at me and goes to attack, and the cat fights back. She defends me. She defends Toby.
Right.
See, part of the danger is you never know when it's coming.
She protect is the important part.
Right. Okay.
Something could get thrown across the room that gets thrown either at Toby or at Maya, and then Maya goes and attacks whoever it was that inadvertently threw the thing, which is probably Mason.
And it'll be perfect if we get the rampage tilt, because then it'll just be Maya rampaging throughout the entire store in a rage because shit, someone who works here attacked my boy. I'ma fuck everything up.
Right. Okay. So. Is there anything
Toby.
that Toby would want out of this conversation?
Not especially not at the moment. He's just like,
So, could you run me through exactly the process of how this summoning is gonna work? Like walk me through it a little bit so I can do my job better protecting you while you're doing it.
Right. So I'm going to need space. Stuff for the-
Space. Okay.
Okay. While I go and set up the ritual circle, it's got to be a pretty big space. So I'm gonna probably do it like a little bit further away from actually fighting the big bad guys. Okay.
Okay. All right. Makes sense.
Okay. And I'll go through and I'll try to succeed on the summoning if I can.
Okay.
And then
And all
hopefully
this-
when
And
when the summoning happens, it's pretty much game over. We won.
yeah. And all the while, all I gotta do is make sure nothing walks into that circle and bugs you, right?
Yes.
All righty.
I like make like commotion, like sharpening his sword.
I'll keep you safe. Don't worry.
Sweet. You're the best, Toby.
Eee.
All right. All right.
I guess that's it.
And that scene. All right.
Okay.
That was Toby's scene?
That was me.
Yeah, that was supposed to be Toby's scene.
It was
Okay.
Toby's scene, but it kind of focused more on Zoe because, like, Toby's kind of like a sideline here. I'm a little disappointed to admit.
I don't know if you agree, Kenneth, but I feel very much like that was a white dice for Toby. He did good.
Yeah, he did good.
He went into it not knowing what to do. He came out of it knowing what to do. Sounds like a
Yes.
white to me.
Okay, I get a white, and because I'm feeling nice, I'm going to give that white to Zoe.
Oh, you're so nice.
I'm Toby.
All
I
right.
am Toby.
I'm Toby.
Protector. The protector of all. Savior of the realms.
I'm Bruce Wayne.
Well, I mean, his character is named Bruce. This is your thing, Karl. Final scene of Act 1.
So, I have a plan, and I think that I need to speak with Zoe to make sure that things end up going in the right direction. So, let's see. I'm wondering if I want to do it out of character or in character. Probably out of character would be best, because I don't necessarily want Mason to know what I'm doing.
Okay. So you need to figure out a way to get Mason out of the room.
How old is Zoe?
She's like 18 or something.
And you can totally give cigarettes to 18-year-olds. I'll fetch a cigarette out of my pocket and hold it in my fingers in such a way that Zoe can see it. Hey, Zoe, can you step outside for a moment? I have to ask you a question.
Sure.
Sure, that's fine. I'll just make Bruce be buying some armor or something for a bit.
Yeah, that's fine. My armor class is kind of shit anyway. I need to upgrade.
And
do you guys mind if the armor winds up getting too expensive? Do you guys mind if I pinch some money off one of your character sheets? I'll pay it back later. I promise.
Sure, you can have every penny on me. Oh,
Zoe
and,
just gives her own like here's this amount.
And before I walk out with Zoe, I walk over to the fridge and grab a couple Mountain Dews. I hand them to Toby.
Oh, I am not sleeping tonight.
So yeah, I'll step out and hand Zoe the bribery cigarette.
Bribery. Oh shit.
Where are you?
Just anywhere that's not the back room. I imagine
so
that.
we're outside again.
Sure.
Cigarette, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Cigarette bribe, awesome.
I don't know. In the 80s, you could smoke indoors too.
Would
Yeah, outside.
the show would your shop allow that?
It's his
I mean,
shop.
it's my
It's up to
shop.
Karl. It's up to Karl. Does he want the smell of cigarette smoke all over all of his stuff?
It would explain why he coughed horribly
No.
early when he inhaled to try and prove that his shop
Right.
smells good.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah,
Sure, we'll
we
just
go
go
up front
down
where the
front.
game is. We go up front where the game is not being held. And I hand her the cigarette and toss her a lighter.
She has her own lighter.
Okay,
Well,
well,
now you have two.
Be like, sure, why not?
so
Double lighting.
we don't have long, so you get to burn it twice as fast. I think that's how cigarettes work. Anyway.
Yeah. So she's like, "What's up?
Okay.
You
So-
seriously need to have some music going on in the store. It's so silent. It's deafening. I swear."
It's like cut some royalty-free elevator music. Yeah, you're probably right.
You know, I can offer you this band called shit. I used to know my
Insert
metal.
80s or 90s metal band.
Zipper Vipers.
Yeah, Zipper Vipers. They're really big right now. They're really good sound, good guitar solos. Yeah, you could really use it.
I sort of shudder and cringe and grin and yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I'll look into that. So
Okay.
about this summoning thing you want to do,
Yeah.
I'm behind you 110%, and by that I mean you get 10% off of everything in my shop for like a whole week. But I want you to not cheap out on it. I want you to get the biggest monster you can.
Biggest monster I can.
The biggest monster you can. Think you can do that for me?
I was thinking of summoning practically a god, but yeah.
What is a god but a giant monster in disguise? That works for me. Just something big and scary. And you have my character's full support. In character and out of character.
Okay, I like the discount.
Glad we could have this talk.
Do you have any metal dice?
Ah.
I walk over behind the counter and I look around, make sure he's paying attention. I put a combination in the safe, pull out this little metal tin, pop it open, and reveal a full die set in metal.
Yeah, put that on hold for me.
Will do. And I sealed the tin, put it back in the vault, look around, and reset the combination.
Why do you fucking have a vault?
Because I'm smart. Anyway.
That would be the word I'd use, but all right.
It's fairly simple, but that's what I pretty much wanted. So I'd let her finish her cigarette, and I'd head back into the room.
Good news, guys. I got +4 plate armor.
Oh,
You get
God.
+4? Okay.
I think it's like we're close to max level is the thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Plus, this
Sure,
is again.
+4, awesome.
Plus, this is again like editions 1 and 2, where the numbers are insane,
Really?
if I recall correctly.
Because I don't know anything about first or second edition. I had to sit there and double check what kind of races were in first and second edition.
ditto.
All I remember is the entire reason that 3.5 was as crazy as it was because they were trying to keep things balanced from going all sorts of hay-wacky with editions 1 and 2.
And then they
Anyway.
come out with Unchained shit.
Anyway, I'm playing it up as if editions 1 and 2 were crazy. So whatever.
Either way, that scene gets a white dice for me.
All right.
Well, that was Karl's thing.
Yes, so he does get a white. I would approve of white dice for him.
All right.
Yeah,
Because
he got what he wanted.
No metal dice.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. White die for him, and he has to pass it along to someone else.
Who are you giving it to?
Poor Mason.
Kenneth?
Poor Mason has like a black die so far.
You have a
Well-
white die. Me. You said me.
Okay, who you giving it to?
Well, I was going to say law of averages dictates Mason, but Toby also doesn't have one.
Toby has a white dice.
Yeah, but he doesn't have two.
Right.
Now
Protect the
Toby has
innocent.
2 dice.
Toby has 2. The good boy gets 2.
Of course he does. Absolutely.
All right.
Survive this as long as possible.
So here's what I am going to do. That is the end of Act 1. Having finished that scene for Karl, and as it turns out, since the dice roller thingy is screwy and not working us to allow us to share and whatever, that's fine.
I have a set of dice right next to my head.
There's also the Wizard's Dice Roller, which is,
Well,
convenient website.
Yes.
it's not that the dice roller doesn't work. The dice roller works. We just can't share it, and regardless of how you roll it, we wouldn't necessarily be able to see each other's dice. That's the whole reason that dice roller
Well, then
was
how
used
about
here.
2 of us just pop over into Roll20 real quick and roll those dice? Make
Ultimately,
sure
it
we're
doesn't.
honest.
Ultimately, it doesn't matter to me because I trust you guys, so it's fine.
Now, additionally, one of us could just use screen share here in this voice chat because that's a thing we can do.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
True. Either way, since the way that this particular aspect works is the people who choose the tilt are those with the highest amount of white and the highest amount of black dice by the end. In this case, it's Karl and Toby.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
So both of us need to roll.
You two would be rolling 4 dice, each, and you then take from those rolls and figure out what your tilts are. You can use each other's tools. It's just both of you are rolling 4 so that you have a total of 8 to choose from to pick 4 options.
And where are we rolling them? Or
It doesn't hurt.
I used the dice roll. I'll go ahead and just put my results in a chat.
You can use the dice roller because that's quick and easy.
Okay.
I got a 1, a 6, a 4, and a 3.
4d6.
Yep, 4d6.
1143.
I demand at least part of this be an out of control rampage.
Yes.
You're getting to the side of the tilt there, Brian, so you can totally put that. That's part of the options.
All right, so I get how much here?
You have now. You each rolled 4, but of that 8 total, you each choose 2 numbers to be your options. We're going to get 2 tilts. In this case, you're using 2 of the 3 ones to make mayhem and out of control rampage.
The 2 ones.
2 of the 3. There's 3 ones as options, but
Oh.
you're using 2 of the 3 ones to get the out of control rampage, which means Kenneth has access to a 1, 2 4s, and a 1, 2 4s,
2 3s, 2 4s,
2 3s, and a
6.
6.
1 3 3 4 4 6.
Yes.
And there's only 2 tilts, right?
Yep.
Yes.
You're going to pick the category and then define it as Brian did.
And I already picked mine, an out of control rampage.
Oh yes, let the FBI's come in.
I kind of want someone to develop a conscience because that'd be great. Like Zoe suddenly realizing that she's being kind of a dick or something. That'd be great.
There's 2 3s.
There is 2 3s.
3
The wrong
3s.
person gets busted.
Since we do have an innocent person.
Oh
Leave Toby alone.
no! Oh no! Collateral damage.
Do not touch the best boy,
Hmm.
or he will go 9S on you.
No.
Let's see. What
No,
other numbers
this.
are there?
Wait,
1 4 6.
I got it. The innocent collateral damage leads to the out of control mayhem.
Ah, that makes sense. Zing.
Wait a minute. Under failure, it says a crazy plan executed to perfection. So the plan goes off perfectly, but then leads to failure?
It goes
The plan
perfectly,
that's
and
supposed to fail
it goes
somehow goes well.
It goes perfectly, and that pisses Mason off because the whole campaign gets uprooted. So he chucks a thing at Toby, and Maya goes berserk and rips apart the whole store.
So let's do 6-1. Failure, a crazy plan executed to perfection.
All right.
Yes.
I have a crazy plan.
And Toby isn't being abducted by the FBI fucking eye.
Well,
You started to type a crazy flan executed to perfection. The tilts have to be incorporated somewhere, but it doesn't have to be like immediate, right?
Right.
Right.
That was going to be my next question. How quickly do we want to jump into the insanity, or do we want to sort of build into it? I was thinking that Mason's scene here could be, he's setting up for the crazy ritual, and
The crazy plan goes off without a hitch, and then I assume Mason would get pissed and chuck something at Toby when he realizes the innocent kid was an accomplice, and that finally pisses off Maya.
no, Toby takes a. No, Toby protects Zoe from something.
Oh, like Mason throws something at Zoe, and Toby jumps in the way of it.
As the
Or
plan
I actually have an idea on how to incorporate both of them.
Oh.
If it can get to me.
Another idea is Mason chucks it at Toby, and Zoe knocks it aside. Like it's chucked at Zoe, and then Zoe knocks it aside, and it hits Toby, and that sends Maya into her apocalyptic rage.
We'll get there. Okay, so basically what I'm hearing from this is the tilts probably ain't going to happen until the last go round.
Probably.
So with that in mind, Mason is. This is the point after everything's been collected and everything's together, and okay, so you guys have got everything to go into this. And you're all ready, and the big bad final boss. He sort of has this little sticky note piece of paper thing, and his name doesn't matter. The big bad final boss is in this back room, back here, ready to go, ready and waiting. Like he knows you guys are coming, and or he doesn't, or anyway. How do you guys want to get ready for this big fight at the end here? He's trying to make it epic and failing miserably. And this is a scene I was going to set up for actually Karl, and after Mason says that, how do you guys want to get ready? And he's like, so Steve, you are the new blood here. You got to show everybody here that you are ready for this big fight. What do? You have a ton of components here to go through and sort of look like you're prepared. So what do we see Steve doing?
So has Big Bad actually appeared or is about to appear?
He's waiting in the next room.
Big Bad is waiting in the next room. As if this was a like Doom game or something where the bad guy is not going to move until you guys get there.
And sorcerers are all about their charisma, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to suggest a party. Bruce, you and I flank either sides of Zoe. We march forth. You handle anybody in front, and I'll cover the rear. And she does her thing. Does that sound good?
Sounds like a plan, Steve 3.0. What did Zoe say?
There was a moment while he was speaking that I, for some reason, heard Captain Kirk speaking.
I don't know what gave you that idea.
Who the fuck is Capitano Kirko? Ooh, I'm acting. Totes.
Anyway.
Jazz hands with sparkles.
I will never not mock William Shatner for that. I will never not. The guy's fun and all, but Jesus Christ.
That's right. Jazz hand with sparkle.
Sparkly vigorous jazz hands. The card of the card.
He's a sorcerer.
Minor illusion, sparkly jazz hands.
Anyway. Salmon's broken now. Good job, guys.
Are you okay?
See, Brian, I told you forever ago, I break every game I'm in. One player at a time. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I menacingly push the glasses up my nose. Mm.
I think I'm okay.
All anime style.
With the white light across the lenses.
Alright.
It's like
So
I overly dramatically whip the glasses off my face so I can slow.
Alright, so that was really cool, and you're ready to go. You push the doors open, and you see the big final boss. So, what are you doing? And that's the end of his scene. And
Okay.
Yes, that. Yes, exactly that.
For context for the audience, I just posted a picture of me pushing my glasses further up my nose with white light.
yes, that. Yes.
The anime glasses thing, because fuck it, Photoshop.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you think? What kind of dice?
Black. None of this is going to go well for Mason.
Sure.
All right.
I get to keep this one. Yay!
Yay. You are
right,
fucked.
Oh, so we keep them this time?
This
Yep,
is Act 2.
Act 2,
We're
we
keeping
keep what
dice.
we're given.
Okay.
Okay. I believe it's
And
to
this
Zoe
is
then.
Zoe's scene, and I'm assuming this is set up for her to probably in character. She's setting up for her.
Doing
This is
summoning.
actually going to be, yeah, it's going to be her in character setting up for the ritual, which means she's going to be having a scene with Mason.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess so. We're in a room.
The battle has
have,
begun.
like,
I imagine we've rolled initiative.
Right. Is
This
there
is-
about this much space? She's asking the DM. It's like, I don't know, making up. Is there like a is there a 20-foot square available?
Yeah, probably. You would have to get a little bit of ways away from your allies, but yeah, sure, you can use your move action to do that.
Yeah, and so can you hand me that book right there? She's pointing at the mythos.
I know I'm going to regret this, but sure.
She goes and opens and flips through the pages, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm going to start this spell.
And who
This
is your
ritual spell.
your patron again?
Ishtar, the Mistress of Darkness."
Right. Okay. Okay. So he sort of looks through his notes, looks through the book a little bit. Roll me a D100. Gotta make sure this goes well. Well,
Sure.
Well is of course high numbers. Which means she rolls like a 93 because this goes well for her.
Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah. And stuff, but it's going to take some time. It takes about this many rounds.
I know that. I was just seeing how well that it worked. Okay, so Zoe's got to be concentrating on this spell for the next, 3 rounds?
Sure, yeah. She starts drawing out the circle, and she gets all the components in there. She stabs the black heart, and she starts chanting.
Right, and there's totally no way anyone can hit her while she's doing all that. Otherwise, all this stuff gets broken. Okay, good to know. So, that is your turn. Toby, you're up next. What are you doing?
I move to defend Zoe. Keep anything from entering her area. Sword up, shield up, defensive stance, we're good.
Alright. So, I got to roll to see if I can get past, if the baddies can get past Toby to get to Zoe.
Keep in mind he has +4 armor.
I know he has +4 armor, Karl, and I missed. Crap. Okay. Yeah. So you're concentrating on that. What are you doing, Karl?
My scene or still part of the
Your
stone?
turn. Your turn in Zoe's scene.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ready in action.
Okay.
I'm going to stand beside Zoe, and as soon as her ritual is complete, I will spring in the initiative order. Until then, I ready, set, action.
Sorry about that, but I am back.
Now have food. What are you readying your action for, Karl?
I'm readying to cast spells when Zoe successfully finishes the summon.
What spell? That one.
Yeah.
What is the general idea of what this spell should do?
I'm going to prep a hasten magic meta magic hasten spell meta magic spell thing.
Great. Okay. So you're there.
I'm
concentrating-
readying an action to do that,
Right.
contingent on her summon being complete.
So you're concentrating on that. I tried to get through to her with Toby, getting through Toby, and that didn't work. Okay, well, Zoe, it's your action again. You're concentrating on the thing. Toby, it's your turn again. Ending Zoe's scene, switching to Toby's.
Yeah,
I don't know what die to give Zoe.
she managed to pull off the ritual.
Okay, so is everyone alright with her getting a white die for that then?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright, over to Toby.
I am remaining stalwart. If anything gets too close, I smack it with my sword as hard as I can.
Well, the big baddie got close.
And I
Yeah.
smack the big baddie.
So roll for your attack.
It's a 17.
That hit. Great. Why did I give you that extra added bonus on your sword?
Because it's awesome. All right, let's hear. That's a 2d6 plus 17 damage.
Ooh, that's a
Right.
big hit.
Okay. So,
Stabby,
math.
stabby, stabby, stabby.
Okay. Good job. Karl, you still readying your action for the end of Zoe's thing, yeah?
Yes. And is it a free action to?
Reaction to
What?
what?
You cut out.
Is it a free action to smile evilly while doing it?
Sure. I didn't think Steve was evil, but okay.
Well, wait, don't you have to sit there and, like, re-up your spell and concentrate? Because, there was an action taken by the big baddie.
He said free action.
Or your turn.
He was using a free
Yeah.
action. to
In
smile.
other words, can I smile while continuing to ready this spell? I'm waiting on you to finish your ritual, and then I'm gonna hop in.
Okay.
Okay.
This is so
That is
meta,
you.
and I love it.
Zoe, you're getting ready to do your thing. And it's back to the baddies again. Roll to hit. Toby, your armor class was what, like 22 now or something?
Yeah, something to that effect. Yep, 22.
Okay, they rolled a 20.
Thank you.
They missed.
Thank you, plus 4. Thank you, plus 4 plate.
Yeah. Okay. So, Mason is very visibly like getting upset with this potential thing of his baddies not doing a dad blasted thing.
Toby, don't die on us.
Sorry.
I told you, Karl, you shouldn't let him smoke in here.
I wasn't. No, that was out of character.
I was
Like,
saying,
I
for the
was
record-
actually coughing. Some hot potato went down the wrong throat. Shut up.
For the record, I gave cigarettes to an 18-year-old, not a 14-year-old. Okay, get it right.
okay. So,
Is no longer happy.
I rolled miss. Toby, you're rolling to hit again. Go.
That's a 6.
Yes, you missed. Okay, so reaction thing on a missed hit. The big bag is to do this thing, and now he's healed a little bit. Yay! Good. Somebody missed.
What? He's healing?
Not a whole lot. He only rolled a 7.
Still. He only took damage from Toby.
Well, that's
That wasn't
y'all's
much.
fault for this plan. So that's the end of Toby's scene, I will say.
Okay. I'm okay with that. What do I get dice-wise?
He's doing his job. He's protecting person.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I guess white.
Yeah, but he also thinks this will save the world when it's probably going to end it.
Right.
But
true.
that has nothing to do with you. You, for your part, are achieving your goals.
Yes, you are achieving your goals.
Keep Zoe safe.
You are, and we are going to do something to stop this big baddie.
All right.
All right. So I get a white die then. All right.
Yep, I gave you one. You're good. Now that it's Karl's
Okay.
scene.
All right, so Zoe is on Zoe's next turn. The summoning ritual is complete. Yes.
Is complete. Yes.
Yep.
So, in addition to grinning profusely and still preparing said spell, I now slowly start to nod while grinning. Yes.
Of course you do.
It's
Got the
all
video of
coming
the nostalgia
together.
for like 3 of them lean in from the sides of the screen. Yes. 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 And all of them nod.
All right, so you're still setting up for that. You could at least try to hit the big bad between all the turns. Oh well, whatever. So, let's see. You're setting up for that. Zoe, it's your turn. You summon spell, and we have this big, huge. What's the description of this deity?
I
person?
summon forth Istaj, the mistress of darkness, to come forth and ravage this world.
Wait, what? I thought we were summoning a thing to just beat the big bad and save the world.
We are.
You didn't say anything about the world being fucked up afterwards.
Okay,
She's
so
like-
It's
So-
going to be a better world, I swear.
big,
You just
big,
have to obey Ishtar.
big bad gets here. She comes in, and so you gotta roll a Zoe. You gotta roll a will check to see if she can do see if you can make her do what you want her to do.
Do what? Oh.
That's
Right,
the thing. I want her to do her own thing. I am a loyal servant to her. She can do whatever she wants.
She's gonna do whatever she wants.
Yep. And I'm as long as it's brought into existence, and I get to act. She's good controlling her turn.
I gotta decide what she does then. Let's see. So she has various. Okay. And Mason will roll another dice. Great. Okay. So. Yeah. And people see that he's rolled like say a 12. Okay, so you do realize that this crazy demoness of darkness person does lots of evil, bad things, right?
Vicious and malignant, yes.
Okay, and you're letting her do what she wants.
Yes, as you can see, my background is cultist.
Right. Okay. Yeah, okay. So
Let her take over this world. Be
That's-
done with it finally.
that's what she's doing. She reaches out with her crazy clawed fingered hand and zaps at the big bad, and the big bad is evaporated into dust, and she does so very quickly because she's got hasted whatever from Steve.
Duh, she's a god.
And and the big bad is defeated, and yeah, okay, so she spans out her hand with all of her god might stuff, and yeah, he slams his hands on the table and flips the table.
Oh.
Dude, that was uncalled for.
That was Maya.
Warning.
But wait, you all have forgotten. I have been readying an action for just such an occasion.
I thought you
I-
readied
What were you
haste. I thought you readied haste to make her faster.
No, I wanted a haste, like meta magic, like cast 2 spells in a turn sort of thing.
Oh.
Oh
right.
yeah, that's a
Okay.
thing.
Ah. So, my first spell is a freebie this turn, and I call forth the power from the primordial oozes themselves from time and space from a rumored time of 0.5 edition when some nerds were in their mother's garage trying to come up with something to do. I call forth and beckon wish, and I wish, breaking the laws of physics in the game, I wish Mason to have a character in this campaign representing himself, and his name shall be Charlie. Charlie metabolizes in front of us, in front of this demon. And that was only my freebie. Now I use Dominate Monster at maximum level to turn this demon to Charlie.
Not a demon.
Or whatever.
It's a
Give me that.
deity.
Deity.
Gosh.
You said she was big
You
and scary.
seriously need to listen to my music. Gosh, you would understand the difference between a demon and a deity. Gosh, you guys suck.
I mean,
You're great, Toby. You are.
why is everyone shouting?
We're tired.
That
This
usually
is
makes
my
people
shop.
more- that
I like
usually-
this is where your table slam goes. I slam my hands down on the table because this is my shop and I'm tired of dying.
You slam at the
Great.
table that is already flipped.
You're
Yes.
both trying to flip the table and it's seesawing.
It's actually defying physics, like spreading butter on a cat's back. Because think about it, cats always land on their feet, but buttered toast always lands butter side down. So if you put butter on the back of a cat and push it off of something, which side hits the ground?
The cat's not toast, so it's gonna land on its feet.
Yes, and then it's going to sit there and try to lick the butter off its back.
Yes.
The
Speaking of
correct
cats,
answer is anti-gravity. Falls
Okay.
like an inch above the floor and just spins.
okay. Speaking of cats,
Yep.
I think Maya's getting fed up of everyone at this point.
She is
Probably.
super annoyed.
Like tails
so-
is like
Just waiting
lashing
for that
back and
last
forth.
straw.
Her tail is just lashing back and forth. Eyes narrowed. You can just hear the
So
deep
this
in
is
her
most
throat.
definitely going to go. Was
White
that
dice towards Karl.
that was Carl's scene, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Okay.
Mason spontaneously had a character in his own campaign, which I destroyed.
All right. So this is the last round, and Mason now has Charlie, and the table has been flipped, and we have an upset Maya.
She was about ready to lash out the moment anything touches her boy again.
So the table has
We
been
now have a
flipped.
deity being controlled.
The at this point the game in the game is over, and Mason is just like stepped away from the table and is
Like fuming in the corner.
well, he's fuming, but he's not in the corner. He's like actually going to be slamming at stuff at the table, which he's being a nerd is not all that strong, so it doesn't really do a whole lot of anything.
I
And-
take a great exception to that. I am a nerd, and I'll have you know I can break plenty of spines.
I'm
They're
aware.
spider spines. They're spider spines. I grant you, but they are still spines.
I'm aware
Hey,
of this.
they're worth an eighth of an experience point apiece. I mean, it adds up.
We still have three. We have a 1 white dice and 3 black dice to give out.
Yes,
4 more
I'm
rounds.
aware, and I'm aware
Now
that
the tilts started coming in.
No, the
Well, we've
tilts-
already completed the first one.
we've already really completed the crazy plan thing, so now we get an out of control rampage, and
Yeah.
that's leading into what's going on with this last little arc. And
Okay.
I know that nerds can sometimes be strong, that's fine, but we have established that Mason in particular is the Steve Urkel nerd that is not strong.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The stereotype.
So yes. So with that in mind, he's
Who's he going to lash out at?
he's fuming and he's upset, and he ends up having finished looking through the book to try to figure out what the deity person was going to be doing, and then she's dominated, so it doesn't matter, and he just picks up and swings the book towards, like, without looking and in no particular direction, and it ends up going towards Toby.
Ow! Ow! What'd you do that for?
I didn't mean to hit you, Toby. I'm sorry. Oh, crap.
Maya,
And then Maya just leaps right onto Mason's face, scratching him, biting and clawing all over him.
What is wrong with your cat?
I got hurt. She doesn't like that.
And now stuff in the back room is being destroyed because Mason is running into it.
Maya, please, no.
Just wailing on him.
I'm so writing a song about this.
And then they plow right into your chair.
Yes.
And how's Karl taking this?
He's like my shop.
Pretty much. I'm like jaw dropped open, just staring.
The horn.
This goes
And
really horribly.
how's Mason taking this shit?
Yeah, Mason is screaming and yelling and running into stuff, and yeah, he is not in a happy place, no. And then it goes to Zoe's final
So
thing.
can we like end that scene with Mason just running out of the room and out into the rest of the
Yes.
shop? Maya's still eviscerating his poor abused
Yes,
face.
which he would have wanted to go outside, but because Maya was in his face, he actually goes into the main part of the shop.
That's what I meant.
Yep.
Right where everything else is.
Alright, so this is to Zoe after after Mason goes running out with cat in face.
Right,
said you-
I
Wanted to write a song. Does she actually care about Mason and or the shop? And or Maya?
she's sitting there laughing a little bit until she got knocked over. Yeah.
Are you okay? I'm so sorry about that.
She is. I'm fine. Just let's get your cat under control.
Maya!
Why do you even have a cat like that?
I told you, emotional support animal. She's just really protective. She like got me when I was like a tiny person.
And then Toby goes running out, calling after Maya, and like you hear like a loud crash.
Oh, that's glass. Okay. How would you get her to stop, Toby?
Toby's left the room. He's gone running out.
She's following. She's like, gotta get the cat.
I don't know. I haven't seen her get angry like this in like a long time, and usually she does it in the house where she just finds a cubbyhole to hide. She's around familiar scents in there. This is all new. This isn't home to her.
Don't bring a cat out to a shop.
I've been bringing her for years. This is the first time this has happened. Maya, stop killing Mason. It's rude.
Zoe's just gonna sit there and take her jacket off and just be like, fine, and try to hold still Mason and try to get the cat in the jacket.
And Maya squirms out and goes scuttering off beneath the shelves, and the shelves start falling over.
It's, God.
Hey, those are collectibles.
Crash. Boom. Clatter. Splatter.
And that is Zoe's scene, which is probably black.
Very much so black, yes.
Yeah.
No.
Not 12.
I mean, to be fair, you'd roll really fucking high with 12 D6.
No, for black, that's the worst possible.
I mean, if you roll high enough on black, you'll still get a good ending.
Oh, good point.
Alright, so this is to Toby. And I'm assuming this is Toby trying to catch Maya under the shelves.
Yep. Like Maya eventually, like after knocking over every single shelf, finally like ducks behind the counter, is like hiding next to the vault.
Maya.
And Toby's like crouching down to try and calm her down.
Maya, it's okay. It's me. I'm not hurt. Okay, see? I don't even have a bruise. Come on. Kitty, kitty. Come on. Stop being a bitch. Come on. Don't you hiss at me.
Toby, I don't think I've ever heard you use that language.
He's used
Please
other
don't tell my
languages
mom.
prior, so.
And like
I won't
Well,
say
I-
a damn thing.
Thanks.
the whole shop's like just fucked at this point. Everything's falling over. And eventually
Yeah.
Maya like slinks out from her place and Toby picks her up and she's still clearly very agitated. But it's like,
You all right, Toby? She didn't kill you, did she?
or not Toby,
Mason?
Mason. Mason, yeah.
No, I'm not dead. You hear, but you do not see Mason currently.
Toby looks over the counter.
Oh, that's...
Quickly looks away because like Mason looks like he got fucking stabbed in the face a dozen times.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry about your shop, Karl.
I'm like standing there, lower lip quivering.
I'm gonna go home. It's, I was supposed to be home half an hour ago. I won't tell if you won't.
And Toby heads for the door.
I'm more looking at the shelf than you. For whatever.
All of the shelves that have fallen over and scattered their now ruined contents everywhere.
Now the question is, how does a 14-year-old get back home? Does he ride a bike?
We can say he's not far. He walks. It was like a few blocks, maybe.
That's probably the only reason he came to the shop all the time, because it took him like a 15-minute walk from home.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. And that is Toby's
That
scene.
leaves the rest of you. Yep. What do I get out of that?
Probably white.
I got myself out of that fucking situation. Yeah, makes sense. As long as the rest of you are alright with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like it.
That means
Yeah.
we have a black resolve for Karl at the end here.
All right.
Well, I think that that's about as fitting as it could go. I collapse to my knees beside the tattered remains that were various boxes of knickknacks and collectibles and whatnot. 1947 NRFB upgraded. NRFB UCWP never removed from box until cat went postal.
Tell cat went postal.
Because in the 80s ish, going postal would still be restricted mostly to the post service profession. Now you can find it pretty much anywhere, but back then it was pretty much just post office, thus going postal.
Whatever
yeah.
going postal even means. Ow, fuck my head.
You can't take the stress and the pressure and the anxiety, and you just go crazy, and you're a small cat, and the world is your playground.
Ah, okay. So you just go nuts and start breaking shit. Okay.
Well, your cat did.
Yeah, she
And-
does.
NRFB is a nerd term for collectible, never removed from box, meaning it's of higher value because it's pristine, and never removed from box until the cat went postal. So I'm like picking up the remains of like multi-$100 collectible one-of-a-kind items that are now just like damaged and broken and definitely removed from box. And yeah, I that would probably be the end of my bit, like in tears, caressing the shards of what used to be my livelihood.
Oh, poor
Uh,
bastard.
So Mason is still there, and he's like got like a towel and whatever to try to clean up his bloody face at least a little bit. And he's, dude, I'm sorry. I just and like Mason is under the impression that Zoe is long gone, along with Toby.
No,
whether
Zoe's still there.
whether or not she is or not is irrelevant. Mason is under the impression that she left with Toby. And Mason sort of comes back over to
Even
Karl.
though she's standing in the same room?
He's got blood and crap all over his face. He barely has any enough to register that he's looking at Karl.
Okay.
I have very nerdy sobs.
Dude, I'm sorry. I had this really cool story idea, and I wanted to make sure that everyone saw the big bad, and I'm sorry I made you keep making the characters and tried to keep everything going when everybody wasn't having fun anymore. I don't know, dude. I guess I deserved Maya attacking my face. Though you didn't deserve her destroying the shop and...
It's okay. I'll just, as I like pick up like crushed pieces of toys and games and stuff, I'll just put it back together. Do it again.
I can help you build everything back and or replace things if I need to. It'd be expensive, but I can.
I take my store vest off and toss it at him. Consider yourself hired, friend. You're now working it off.
And now I believe that is the end of that scene for the end of that thing, and we cue to like Zoe in the background. She just laughs or something.
Something.
Unless Sam has something for Zoe to do at the end there.
Yeah, Zoe just comes up and be like, yep, totally Mason's fault. Anyway, can I get those dice now?
And that's a perfect cutoff point. Oh,
It's like,
Jesus.
here, I'm going to start giving you money to fix your shop up. I want those dice. Don't forget the discount.
All right.
Alright. Now, so, having established that, we now have the final aftermaths to do.
Don't we still have to give out the last black die, I think, don't we?
What? Didn't that go to me?
It would go
Alright.
to Karl.
Process of elimination. I'm the last scene, and it was
All right, fair enough.
bad.
All right.
So,
Interesting how Mason only has 3 dice when everyone else has like 4 or 5.
yeah, well, Mason got 1 dice when you were going around the table, and you only get 2 scenes in the scene when you can keep dice. So,
All right, fair enough.
So, now, with this, we are going into Aftermath. With Aftermath, you roll dice to denote what sort of Aftermath you get, and what you do is you subtract your highest totals of either black or white, and from your you subtract your lower total of black or white from your higher total, and whatever's your higher of the two is what you end up counting on. So in this particular instance, me and Brian have nothing to worry about because we only have 1 color, 3 black for me and 4 white for him. So all we're going to do is roll 3 dice and 4 dice respectively, and just add it together. We have nothing to subtract.
And so for us, we roll white, subtract roll black, or
You would roll 2 dice and then 3 dice, and whichever was the higher total is
subtract
the one that
the
gets.
other, and that's the color and the amount.
Yep.
Okay.
I got a 15.
15. And you are what, white?
White.
Yeah, all white.
Well, you can
Everything's
go
good
to,
for Toby.
You can go to your white aftermath table and read the bottom thing there for what your white is.
Fan-fucking-tastic. It's sweet times ahead, safe and secure. That thing that would make your life better? Oh, absolutely, and then some. And then some more. Enjoy it. So the way I take that to mean is Toby figured out that the group he was with was slowly becoming toxic and preemptively removed himself from it so as to avoid having any negative repercussions, and very swiftly started gaining confidence with a new, much better group of friends.
Well,
Okay.
we will do a little montage for what you roll, or what for each of your dice there, and we will then have your ending. But yes, that is effectively what you can say for that.
So, wait. So I gotta roll like 2 white dice and 2 black dice.
You got to roll two white dice and 2 black dice.
Okay, that's my white. And that's my black. Wow, I get 1 black dice.
Oh, no.
What did you
Which
roll?
is actually a 1. For my whites, I rolled a 1 and a 5, 6. And then my 2 black is 3 and a 4 for 7. So I have 1 of black.
One in black.
No. Oh, no.
That's white. Horrible. Everything is a cliffhanger, and it is all of it my fault. Yep. Okay.
Oh, no. Oh, you're a delinquent.
You got black 1.
Yep. Black 1.
Yep. Horrible.
Horrible.
Okay, what did you roll, Kenneth?
I rolled 2-5 white, 1-2-5 black. So I got black 1.
Oh, no.
How about that? Horrible. Everything is a cliffhanger, and it's all of it your fault. Sadly, that seems pretty fitting. So I had to roll 3 black dice because I have no other colors. I had to roll 3 black dice. The dice that I rolled was 2 3s and a 5, so I have black 11.
Pretty good, all things considered.
All that red face paint, that smells like a rose. You're a little better off, in fact, because you didn't get caught.
I think what happens is he wound up proving he was much better running the game shop than Karl was, and wound up taking over that business in the end and running it like a goddamn pro.
And your frenemies came together, and everything went off. That's just insulting. Anyway.
So I got the pretty good ending apparently, and what we do
Your face
here
got
is
fucked, but hey.
What we do here is we go around the table and as the order that we did, and we denote whether or not we're taking a white or a black dice to lead into our potential aftermaths and whatever they may be. And the way that I've seen this played most of the time is you do a little montage scene. If the montage scene is good, it counts as a white dice. If the montage scene is bad, it counts as a black dice. And so you I don't know how you guys are going to play this up, but yeah, you both got the same ending, which is hilarious to me. So
Well, I want to start with Mason because you're in slot 1.
So you can do a black scene or you can pass. And I think you can also say that your scenes come before or after someone else's montage scene, right?
Yes. In theory, you can do that if you wish to move time travel around. And considering I only have 3 dice and everybody else has at least 4, I'm going to pass my first one. Go, Zoe.
All right.
Or go, Sam.
Wait, what are we doing?
You are setting up a small little like montage-y kind of scene to help illustrate a little bit of how things go horrible for Zoe.
Oh.
You have 2 positive notes and 2 negative notes, and because you got a black negative, then your final one is going to need to be black. But you could do up to 2 positive and up to 1 negative whenever you want before
So
that.
this is like we do a mini scene for each die we have.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay, that makes such a great sense.
So pick a ultra brief thing. What's a moment that you want to happen? Use a quote unquote spend one of your dice.
Gets that metal dice.
All right.
All right.
We sort of see her going home with the metal dice clinking in her hands, and she's just rolling them around. And
Good. Another good one is
You do one and then next person.
Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
round table.
Yep.
All right.
Toby's all good.
Toby's all good, goes home, and just has a really, really good night's sleep. He is tired. He is worn out. His cat snuggles with him, purring loudly because boy is safe. All is well for him.
seems fitting.
Okay. Kenneth.
So, since I'm going to face some financial restructuring,
Restructuring.
before
It's got to collapse first, man.
before Toby leaves for the night or whatever, I go over to the fridge and grab the remainder of the 6-pack of Mountain Dew and thrust it into his arms. Here you go, kid. You earned it. Mm-hmm.
I mean, Toby left, but okay.
Retroactively, back in time before he left, I went over and yeah.
So we sort of cut to that scene when Toby's gut's laying down for the night, and everything's happy, and he has like a 6-pack of Mountain Dew in a corner.
Yep, he's not drinking that till morning, or he ain't sleeping.
So says mother.
You can drink them in the morning, honey. If you drink them now, you're not going to be able to sleep, and then you'll be cranky. And we don't like you when you're cranky. Okay, Mom.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We changed it to bargains and plunders because this is a much better store after everything turned out and new ownership came in.
So, this scene for Mason is he's starting to get the hang of working the shop for the Paradigms and Plunders, apparently.
Is it eventually got renamed?
Oh yeah,
Under his leadership.
Actually, yeah. So he's working on the new name for the shop that he's going to introduce to Karl, and he keeps rewriting it and changing it, and can't decide on what exactly he wants to settle it on. And then he looks to like all of his game notes and all this, and he's just, yeah, I should let somebody else be a DM for a while. and it is a black die for him because he is losing the motivation to be a DM for himself, because his one story that he wanted to try is not working, and it didn't work, and nobody liked it, and yeah. Yeah. I gotta make it come out as good when all of these things are technically bad, so this is gonna be interesting.
Zoe.
And then Zoe gets her next scene. I feel like just because we can go anywhere with this story, I sort of feel like one of her white dice, or alternately one of her blacks, is her sitting down to try to write a song about a cat attacking a game store.
Yeah, it goes horribly wrong. It's a black dice, goes horribly wrong. No one likes it.
Right.
Everyone calls her a poser.
What? They're striking nice poses.
A fake person.
I know.
Alrighty. Then to Toby.
Spending a white dice to have Toby, sort of figure out that things weren't quite going well with that particular group of friends. Like, notably Zoe, like he's starting to pick out that like something's not totally good with her at this point, that something's going south and he no longer wants part of it. And like just a rudimentary phone call, just like informing him that he wants to keep a bit of distance for the time being. Just like,
I'm thinking I'm going to stay away from the game shop for a while. Just, kind of went crazy last time, that sort of thing.
yada, yada, yada.
Hmm.
So he's distancing himself from a potentially toxic scenario.
Yep.
Because he's not an idiot. He's impressionable, but he figured out pretty quickly after the like,
Holy shit, everyone was using me.
I
I was a tool the entire time. I want to be the engineer, not the wrench.
Yeah.
it's a good analogy, actually. I like that.
That is a very good analogy. I like that. Alright, so that's yours. And now we go to Karl again.
I'm going to use a white because even though it's totally using Toby, I use him with the best of intentions. I go and I get the 1980s equivalent of Smash Brothers and give it to him.
Yeah.
Along with a employee vest. If your mom will let you work on weekends, you can earn it that way. Here you go.
Ooh. I'll talk to her about it. Thanks.
Alrighty.
Alright then. So this is Mason again, and he is approaching Karl with this potential new rebranding name idea and some different organizational ideas for how he wants to update the shop. He's actually started to enjoy working here for the little bit of time that he has, and he's wanting to make sure that Karl.
For the 5 minutes.
Well, you can jump
It's been
around
a
in
few
time.
days
You
before.
can jump around in time.
Okay. Yeah.
And Karl, or I see that Karl's sort of very, very hesitant to do this sort of thing. But he eventually sort of lets it go and gets a chance to focus on restocking the shop and not having to worry about the manager positions of the thing. And then Mason realizes he's not all that great at it. Sort of like when he was a DM. He has his plans. Other people have other plans.
So under your restructuring, the customer comes up to the register. All right, so that's this and that and the other. All right, Mason hands the customer a fistful of D20s. Do me a favor, roll those. All right, those 3 comic books come to $69.42. For some reason, that model doesn't seem to work.
Probably not, no. Yeah, okay. And then it is to Zoe again.
Right, this is her last white dice. So, I'm assuming she's allowed back at the shop and hang out still.
Oh, yeah.
I imagine, yeah.
So,
Imagining her last black one is going to be like her getting arrested for something.
yeah,
like in possession of not good drugs or something. I don't know.
probably.
Breaking into my safe.
You already got
Yes.
what you wanted from the safe. She got your dice.
Must have more.
Or if that's
Like she
where all
does-
his cool dice are, yeah.
She does it when high is the thing.
Now she has a white scene first.
Yeah,
know.
it's just she goes back to the shop and stuff and just like
He sees Mason working the counter instead of Karl.
right.
Actually, you'd be pretty ecstatic when you successfully stole something, and then things would suck after you were caught.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you wanted to break it up that way.
I don't know. I'm not good at this improv stuff.
It's all right.
So, you're back? Haven't seen you for a couple of days.
Yeah, everything's fine. She's a little less metal looking now.
I wish the tattoos were removable.
No, the tattoos stay.
Oh, okay.
So
Trying to
Okay.
clean up her act.
yeah. Yeah, that's
Went
what
home
she's
and
doing.
listened to some hardcore Beethoven.
Sure. Let's start changing Beethoven into metal music. Awesome.
I don't know. In the 70s, someone turned Beethoven into disco. It's
Okay,
absolutely epic. But
yeah.
anyway.
Sure.
You see Mason's leftover battle scars that he's going around saying that he has on his face.
You are
from
telling the
cat.
right story about those, right?
Of course.
You got attacked by a cat.
I did
After
get
you
attacked.
threw a fit.
I did get attacked by a cat. It was really cool for the first 5 seconds.
No, not cool. Anyway. Yeah, so can I still hang out here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. That would be pretty much it.
We might be setting up for another game or something soon, but I don't know if I'm going to be the one to run it. So
Give someone else a try.
I was thinking the same.
Like Toby.
Toby, I don't know. He
Has Toby been around anyways?
Not lately.
not lately. Not lately. No.
Okay.
I mean, Karl said he could come by on the weekends or something to sort of do like a little internship or whatever, but I really haven't seen him. So maybe his mom didn't let him come, or maybe he just didn't want to. I don't know. Yeah. I'm
Okay.
and Mason tries to keep tabs and count on all of the stuff that he's sold, which he's good at making the count of. Is just way off for what it should have been.
Wait, does
value
Mason
of.
have access to the safe?
At this
Oh,
point,
God.
yes.
Okay. All right.
All right, and that's Zoe's this scene, I guess.
Yep. Yep.
Alrighty then. It is now to Toby.
Alrighty. Another white die out the bucket. That big test he had been secretly stressing over at the school, he passes with a total A 100%, and he is fucking ecstatic. I don't have anything else for this. I'm pretty much wrapped him up.
I mean, his last white die could totally be, like you said before, he finds himself another gaming group probably closer to his age.
Maybe.
Which, I mean, even Karl could probably perhaps help him set up on that.
Speaking of which,
That could probably be his last white die, for being honest, as Carl's helping Toby set it up.
Alright, it's to Karl.
so because this can only end well, I schedule a time since Mason now. I schedule a time to sit down and have Mason teach me how to DM, teaching me everything he knows.
Oh, okay. This can only end well, because Mason's an awesome DM.
Mm-hmm. That's why I used a black die. And that's it for this one.
All right. So Mason's final scene for his go round here.
And what was your ending again, Daniel?
My ending?
Mm-hmm.
My ending was pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So at the end here, we see Mason, and he's just helped Karl to go through to try to come up, be a DM, and come up with all of his things. And now Mason is sitting down. So
you helped make it?
No, I didn't help make it. What happened was I helped to set you up so that you can be a good DM, and I'm sitting down to go make characters, and I got all these great characters in mind, and then I realize I have to make them all differently because you're wanting to play with 2nd edition. Because see, you as a comic book owner, you knew all that stuff was coming out before I did.
Mm-hmm.
So you were like secretly being a little conniving still, and we're like, he's gonna now sit down to make characters, but he has to make them in this new system now. So yeah. Truth be told, though, I make a wonderful character that's super awesome and fun because I'm got a good ending. So, but it's a little harder to make a new character, make a character in a system that you have to remember that this and this and this was all changed. And why is there an A in front of D&D all of a sudden? What? Alright, so this leads into, or could be in and around Zoe's last scene, whatever it is.
So yeah, Mason was working the safe. So
Yep.
So he decided, like, I wonder what other cool stuff is in the safe, and she's gonna go snooping in the safe.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
You're not allowed back there. You don't work here.
No, but friends.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't actually going to go into an actual conversation scene.
No, well, okay.
So
fair enough.
describe what you do.
She was just going in, like, looking around and stuff, and might get caught, and she doesn't get, like, steal anything. She just gets caught snooping, and it just turns out no one wants to, ends up, like, not having best friendships, and no one wants to play with her anymore.
Aw.
Yeah.
Your final goodness.
My final goodness?
Your mom made chicken and it was delicious.
Yes, and and with a little help from Karl, Toby manages to set up a group with people more his age, and and I'm just going to go ahead and say that he plays with those people several campaigns over many, many years and winds up meeting a future wife in that campaign, in that group.
And she also makes good fried chicken.
And he makes her fried chicken too. They make each other chicken all the time. It's like their thing. That's the end for Toby.
Okay. So I have a white and a black. I already know what my last one's going to be. So my white one, I heard when I was busy pursuing other endeavors, I heard that Zoe came by the store and got in a bunch of trouble, and now no one wants to be her friend. No one wants to hire her, and she can't do anything. So I go and I bail her out by totally covering for her and saying that she was my employee all along and she was checking something for me, so people need to mind their own business, and she's fine. Thus trying to clear her name.
Aw.
And I also have the final black die.
Since you got like the worst possible ending scenario.
So I totally was being meta, trying to discourage Dalred from pursuing 3.5. It took me, you said it came out in the year 2000? Wasn't it? Three and a half?
It did. It came out 2003.
Okay. So
Oh, nice.
it took me a little over 20 years, but I took all of my ideas, all that I learned from Mason, that we had from such, things that are way too over the top, way too complicated, trying to make the system, redesign the system so that everyone is OP, because if everyone is OP, then everything is balanced. So I pitched this idea, and it took 20 some odd years to make. And sadly, the one suggestion they would not take from me was calling it the Steve 3.5 system. So, yeah, that's my final one.
All right. All righty then. That was fun.
That was interesting, actually. Did you have fun, Sam?
Yes.
That was an interesting little adventure.
And
I got to roleplay as my cat for a minute. I'm sure Maya would be mildly annoyed by my depiction of her because she's not actually that aggro in real life, unless you bring an actual cat into another cat into the picture. Then she is like that.